What's going on YouTube, and welcome to another GTA 5 online video. So guys, in this video I'm going to tell you guys the best modification options for the Benefasctor BR8. So this is the new F1 car that was just released in the game this week with the new summer DLC, and in this video I'm going to tell you guys which spoiler is the best and which front wing is the best. Now the reason that I'm not talking about the other modification options is just because, like with the engine, the max option is the best one. With the brakes, the max option is the best one, so there isn't a lot to talk about. But with the spoilers and with the front wing, this isn't actually the case. So basically, with the open wheel cars in GTA, the spoiler and the front wing have a huge effect on the performance as well. Now with other cars in the game, this isn't the case. So with other cars like supercars, spoilers don't have a effect on the performance, but with the open wheel cars it actually has. Now the way it works is basically the spoilers and the front wing have a effect on the max speed that the car will have, and also the amount of traction that the car will have with the ground. Now the basics of it is basically, if you have a heavy spoiler, it will cause less speed and more traction. If you have a light spoiler, and the same way with the front wing, then it will cause more speed and less traction. So heavy means less speed, more traction. Light means more speed, less traction. So in real life it's actually a little bit different. It's not only the weight of the spoiler and the front wing, it's actually the total amount of downforce that the spoiler causes on the car. It has to do with the shape, the position, and also the weight, actually mainly the weight, but that's just all physics and I'm not going to bore you guys with that. But basically we're searching for the best combination of front wing and also spoiler to optimize the car and actually make it drive as good as possible. So we're not only searching for best top speed, of course, because then the traction and the handling will be shit, and we're also not just searching for best traction, because then the car will go very slow. It will be easy to handle though, but it will go very slow. So the way I actually tested out which spoiler actually was the heaviest and which front wing was the heaviest is just by doing tests and actually looking at the max speed. So over here I was just testing a combination of the max, so the last front wing and the second last spoiler. So I did a lot of tests like this. I'm not going to show you guys all of them, but I will tell you guys the results. So basically here I got a speed of 113. Then I tested it out in a race as well, because I wanted to see if it will be the same in the race, because I read somewhere, I think it was on Reddit, that in races the downforce and all of that doesn't count. So everyone will just have the same amount of max speed and the same amount of traction and handling and all of that if you're driving a custom car. And it was actually right. So in game, in free mode, I actually had a max speed of 113. I don't know if you guys can read it. In the race it was actually around 119 or 120. So with all the combinations that I actually tested out, I always got the 119 or 120 miles per hour. This means that in a race everyone just gets the same stats. It doesn't matter which wing you have, it doesn't matter which spoiler you have. I think this is pretty annoying, because in free mode you do have the effect, but in the races not. But I think it's more important that you would have it in the races. But anyway, then I went ahead and put this spoiler on, so the cut off wing. So I just kept the front wing, of course, so only the spoiler changed, and the last speed that we got was 113, and as you guys can see on the screen right now, it's 115 or even 116 at some time. So that's 3 miles per hour faster just by changing the spoiler. So in free mode there is definitely a effect. I can also feel it when I'm driving, that the handling is actually better when you put on a spoiler that is heavier. But in the races you can also feel that the handling actually gets worse if you have a heavy spoiler in free mode and then you get the stock one in the races. In the races the effect of your spoiler and your front wing actually doesn't count anymore. So over here I'm trying with the cut off wing. So in free mode this one was 116, and over here 119, 120 again. So this means that in the races the front wing and the spoiler actually don't matter. So only in free mode they will matter. So the last option that I'm going to show you guys, so the last combination, this is not all the combinations that I did, by the way. I did more just to see which spoiler would be the heaviest one and which one the lightest one, or which combination is actually the best one. But just the stock options, I'm also going to show you guys the speed of this. With the stock options it's kind of the same speed that you have as you would have in a race. So it's 119, 118 sometimes. It actually changes a little bit, so it's not very easy to read out. But over here was 117, 118 that you get with the stock wing and the stock spoiler. So now, of course, after I've done all the tests, I can tell you guys which spoiler is the heaviest one, so causes the most traction and the lowest max speed, and which front wing as well. So it's basically like this. So for the spoiler, the cut off wing is the lightest one, then it's the stock spoiler, then it's the small extreme wing, the angular wing, and just if you go lower it gets heavier. So the extreme shark fin is the heaviest spoiler. The one that I recommend is the racing tail fin. So still heavy, you have a little bit of speed, but you have good traction as well. I like a lot of traction because then I actually enjoy driving the car more. And also in free mode, if you have good traction, you can turn very easily. You can actually avoid a lot of street cars and NPCs very easily. So I actually prefer traction. If you want speed, so if you want the fastest one with the spoiler, it's the cut-off wing. I would actually not recommend this because then you don't have a lot of traction. But the small extreme wing you can also pick, then you will have more speed as well. Now with the front wing, it's actually almost the same, I think. So the last one is the heaviest one. The second one, so the medium front wing, is the lightest one. Then it's the stock, then it's the circuit, then the championship, and then the heaviest one is the legendary front wing, as I said. Over here, I either recommend the last one or the second last one. So again, if you want speed, you can just pick the medium front wing, and that will give you the max amount of speed that this car can actually reach. I hope everything was clear. If you have any questions, don't be afraid to ask them. Make sure to like and subscribe, and peace out, you guys.